Live from the internet and recorded on November 14, 2018, this is the Crystal Chronicles, your favorite official, unofficial DCDF Final Fantasy Opera Omnia podcast. This is, if I am not mistaken, episode 30, the big 30, finally reaching that point, guys. My name is Pierre, and I am joined, as usual, by my good friends Mark and Mino. Good evening, guys.
Hello, Twitchers. Hello, Decidians.
Hey, everybody.
So, I was going to say sorry for starting the show 7 minutes late due to technical glitches, but it should actually be sorry for starting the show about 2 freaking weeks late. We couldn't be here last week on account of I messed things up again. We're just gonna say it. So sorry about that. The good news is that we realized that if we had a show last week, we'd pretty much have nothing to talk about this week. So luckily, because we weren't there last time, here we are. So anything new before we jump into the game, guys? Anything you want to talk about that happened in your personal life, with the exception of snow that dropped everywhere except for freaking Mino?
It's snow. Our snow's already gone. It's not big an issue. So.
All right.
No, let's get to the stuff.
Let's get to the stuff. All right. Well, speaking of stuff, there was a game maintenance that happened on November 7th. Did it? I don't think it brought anything major. It was just to take away the triple tomes away from us.
Yeah, man. You can't buy them either.
Nope, they're gone for good.
Yep, they're gone. Screw you.
That answers our question, so I'm pretty sure they only come in waves then, if that's the case.
So buy them while you can.
And now you
Did you
can't.
guys actually buy any with gems?
I did.
Sure. I sure did, yeah.
Really? Wow.
Oh, yeah, I hate these co-op events for
That's
like
fair.
7 hours, so I did like one triple tome on that Heretic co-op event and got everything. I actually cleared out the store and ended up
Right.
200 higher power orbs.
Makes sense, because I usually just use 2 doubles, so it's just slightly longer, I guess.
Yeah, no.
All right. Then we had last week some buffs with Bartz and Tifa, which just in the outline, here's how Mark wrote it up. So it says Bart and Tifa buff, and in parentheses, insert joke about Tifa boobs here. So.
Yeah, that is what I wrote. So
I guess there's a 10% buff on the left boob and 12% buff on the right boob. So that's all you need to know.
For those that don't know, well, I mean, it was a big deal when it dropped, but
When her boobs dropped, it must have been a big deal.
the Bartz buffs. I'm sure you guys have seen the notification now. The known issues, I think they put out a few days ago, which is his buff actually indirectly nerfed him, because there's this whole thing where his buff is once he gets simple mastery, which is his crystal level 50 passive. You know, every mastery boosts his stats by 10%, all of them. Now it applies to the whole party, but the buff made it so that once he ran out of any ability charges for either ability, all those benefits just drop.
Oops.
So
yeah, people weren't real happy about that.
he was actually worse than he was.
Oops.
Yeah. Is that fixed? Did they fix that?
It's not fixed. They said it's a known issues and they're trying to work on it as fast as possible. But as of right now, Bartz is very, very terrible.
Do you think they're going to extend the event?
I don't know. Maybe 100 apology gems. Or I mean, that sounds reasonable.
Is anybody using Bartz in this event? I mean,
No, but we can pretend we are for outrage.
oh yeah. Like, man.
Oh, speaking of Tifa, which we weren't, but we are now, I've been playing, and I'm going somewhere with this, and it's going to be Tifa related. I've been playing World of Final Fantasy Maxima on the Switch for about a week now, and in there, there's a whole bunch of Final Fantasy character, and probably one of the most annoying playable character ever in Lawn, God, I hate that guy. He's.
Oh, I agree. I'd love to actually talk about this. It's just off topic for our podcast. I would love to get your like initial impressions of the game, because I have. I'll let.
Well, it's great as long as nobody's talking.
I actually really enjoy the English voice acting for Tama. Your little. I mean, like usually I hate those cutesy high pitched characters, but I thought whoever did her did a really.
Well, the voice is great, but she's the annoying.
Oh yes, but the voice is great.
The voice are great. It's the dialogues. It's not the people who does the talking. It's the people who did the writing that are yeah.
I thought I would find her little speech impediment much more annoying, but I didn't. I think they pulled it off okay. But she's the only part of the game that I enjoy.
Well, she's great as soon as I took the headphones off. So, which is a shame because the Final Fantasy music is great. It's just, but anyway, where I was going with this was that in the game you meet Tifa in there, but I know I've always asked question about whether or not stuff is canon or not. But Tifa in the cowboy outfit, did I miss something that happened?
Yeah, she wears that in the flashback, and during their childhood, you know, when they flash back to when Sephiroth goes crazy and Tifa was like their guide up the mountain, and I think she was wearing the cowboy outfit then.
Oh, I see. Because that's terrible.
It's concept art.
It really makes her look fat. I gotta say that's not body shaming, but it does not suit the whole chibi team very well.
Oh.
Well, I guarantee you, when Tifa gets her alternate costume in this game, I'm sure the cowboy outfit will be the very first one.
Yeah, but it's gonna fit the style a lot better. The style and the buffs. All right. Now more about buffs. We got some more up-to-date buff that happened. Actually, dropped yesterday for Layle and Laguna. You guys care to talk about what changed for them?
I got Layle, but I don't know Laguna, so I'm counting on you guys to cover me on that. The biggest thing about Layle is his force debuff is now 100%. Which makes him a reliable launcher, finally.
Oh, that's funny, because it says increased chance of inflicting force. It's worded like it's not 100%.
Oh, well, I think with the 15 CP.
Oh.
Yeah,
it's 100%.
With his weapon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Laguna got more ability uses, and his debuffs got a little bit better. Increased duration, defense down, speed down, attack up. And max brave up with his shotgun ability, and he gets another use. So not world changing, but not terrible.
Right. There's a weekly draw that was dropped also a day or two ago for VV, Setzer, and Edge. It's half price. So if you want to draw on that for some power stones,
you hate your gems. Those banners.
I've been starting to draw on all of these half-off banners because with 335 CPs on there, I think it's worth it for me.
That's true, Mr. 100,000 Gems. Draw.
The only reason I save it all is because usually I pull one time on a banner or no times. I can't remember the last. Oh right, Lena, of course.
Lena.
But before that, I can't think of any time I went all out on a banner. Kane to Lena.
Yep.
Between that, I think it was like one pull or no pulls. I didn't pull for Quistis. I didn't pull for Sephiroth. I didn't pull for a lot of people.
All right. Now, in something entirely different, there was a news that dropped on a lot of Square Enix applications, and it concerns us as DFFOO players. On December 19th, players living in Belgium will no longer be able to play or download the application. This seems to be related to gacha laws that are being taking effect in Belgium, and all of these Square Enix games are being taken off the market as a response to these laws. It's kind of interesting to see that the different countries, different governments are cracking down on the whole loot box slash gacha mechanics, and I wonder what are going to be the long-term effects for this.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see kind of where it plays out country to country and region to region. I don't have any opinion on it one way or the other. I realize the issue, but I also, no one's forcing me to do this, so right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hotly debated topic, and just like Mark, I don't feel like there's a right answer or a wrong answer, but I feel like right now, since it's only Belgium, I'm sure game companies don't care. Maybe when more markets start shutting down, they'll start thinking twice about their policies, but right now, I'm sure they just don't care.
When Japan and Indonesia and South Korea, then we'll start on. Where everyone is gaming on every game ever.
Right.
No.
All right, so I guess people in Belgium enjoy while you can, but hopefully the laws, I think right now they're pulling off because the laws aren't clear, so they're waiting until there's more clarification about how all of these changes will affect the legal side of what they're doing. So hopefully we'll know more as things go, and they'll be able to keep playing the game. But otherwise, there's probably a lot of ways to go around this, either by downloading the application from another app store on iOS, or VPN connections, all of these things. If you know how these things work, luckily you might be able to get around that. The daylight time saving happened last weekend, and the events are now dropping an hour earlier for most people in around the world, including us. The Zack event is now live on DFFOO, and I guess a lot of people are already losing their shit over the availability of this character. You guys part of that? Are you guys super happy that Zack is now part of the game, or?
Well, I think the real hot item on this banner is Layle, right? Because he became a big part of the meta in Japan. But Zack, Zack's really a tank. We'll talk about him more in the future once we get a little bit more time with the character in the event. But I'm not really sure what Zack's utility is going to be here in the immediate future. I like Laguna a lot, again, but he's going to come back on an Awakening. Layle's going to come back on an Awakening banner, better banners. Right now we're just in this weird spot. If they had come out before Awakenings, I think I would have been all over this banner. I'm probably just going to do one or two polls and kind of see what I get. Because I don't have anything. I don't have anything for Laguna or Layle, so...
Not even 15s? Oh, actually,
no, I don't have any.
Yeah, I don't have anything either. I guess I could do more tthan the one pull.
Yeah.
You can definitely afford it. There's no doubt.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say Zack's a super popular character.
Yeah.
Apparently in Japan, a month or two ago, they put out a survey to see who was gonna get their costume next, and I think Zack topped the chart right after Cloud. It was Cloud and then Zack.
It's always interested me because Zack is a super popular character. But Crisis Core was such a limited run of a game.
Right. Yeah, and then I don't see his appeal. He's a cool guy, but wow, for someone who appeared in a side game, or maybe a lot of people remember him from the flashback of the main game.
Everybody loves that flashback. That's a great flashback.
I feel like it's amazing. I think he's cool. I don't see the hype though, for me personally.
Well, he is who Cloud thinks he is, right? So
right.
So he is basically. If you like Cloud, to be fair, Zack is basically just Cloud, except not angsty. cool.
Less baggage, right?
Like he's like actually cool Cloud. Like I don't have any like hatred against Zack. It's always fascinated me. Like he's such a, like, I get like Terra. It's a big character. People like Terra. People like Cloud, Sephiroth. That makes sense. But
How about you, Pierre? How do you feel about Zack?
I don't care half a second about Cloud, to be honest. About Zack, I mean. I know he's like Cloud, but not Cloud. Really, I have no idea. So I don't have any opinion on matter. It's kind of sad, but
Soldier First Class.
I know, but I don't know. I never played Crisis Core. So I don't know what his deal is.
Yeah.
I mean, to give you an idea on that banner, where you have Zack, you have Layle, you have Laguna, the character I know most about is Laguna. So that's the man with a machine gun. That's the guy I'm after. So I don't have any opinion. Let's see. Let's move on. Player quests. There's missions right now. If you were taking part of the Awakening, you can get 200 gems if you get to rank 260 to 70. If you get at least one character to level 55, level 60, and Crystal Strength level 51, 55, and the yet still unattainable level 60. So it's more gems for you, easy to grab, depending on your needs. So keep an eye on that. See, No Escape 1991 on Twitch says everyone loves Zack because they finished Crisis Core. So I guess that's my problem. I couldn't even tell you on which platform Crisis Core was. PlayStation, I guess.
Hey, they made a remake for
PSP
consoles, didn't they? Did they? I could have sworn.
Crisis Core ported?
Is there a PS3 version somewhere out there? I gotta Google it.
It may have been ported.
I've idea.
Watched all the videos. Like I've seen.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
But I did not play it because I did not have a PSP.
I had one for a couple weeks. Then I got bored of it.
They did not port it to Sega Genesis or Sega Game Gear.
Sega Genesis.
Like, Game Gear is the one I had. Game Gear.
All right. The World of Illusion Trial of Alexander is now permanent. So
It is.
nothing new. Alexander is your holy summon. The battle is again Lich. So bring a. What's that, Mark?
It's so bad.
It's sad.
Just feel bad for that EX character. Like, we fought a Lich and then some other characters in battles since then. This is just one Lich.
Yeah, I'm kind of sick of Lich at this point.
A Lich.
I'm super sick of him.
This is just like one Lich. You're just going to steamroll over this thing. So sad.
All right, so definitely nothing to write home about. Don't forget that there's the World of Illusion Treasure on for Awakened characters. I think it's still on for a few days.
So it may be gone.
It might be gone, so don't forget, but actually do forget it.
It's gone.
It's gone.
So don't worry about that. But make sure every time there is a new, lost chapter or a new chapter or a new awakened character, there is a World of Illusion that goes with those characters. So make sure at least you get all those gems if you're not artifact grinding. You definitely want to pick up all those gems.
Yep, because the whole thing restarts again, so it's free gems for your trouble. Speaking of which, there's the Heretic. The entire Heretic event is now done and over with, but the token shop is still open for business for, I believe, another 48 hours. So if you still have tokens you haven't used for that shop, it's pretty much now or never. Don't leave any tokens on claim. It's not a good idea. So
yeah, I just picked up 200 higher power orbs, so yay.
That's what I do with all my excess.
Yep, so do I. Because Mino makes fun of me every time I tell him I've got a weapon I can't max limit break.
I don't understand.
Well, I would use it for crystals, but I have quite a few crystals right
Yeah,
now.
you're maxed out. We played a little game of let's see who gets everybody at 50 and up. So.
Yeah. Did you got them all right?
Oh yeah, about like half an hour after you did.
Yeah.
Mr. I copy all my
but
stuff.
I'm too lazy to max all the crystals. Like, oh crap! What color crystals are Zack? I want to say blue, like Cloud, because Cloud. Just to guess off the top of my head.
I could tell you in half a second.
I'll pull it up right now. It's black. Interesting.
Again, another black crystal character?
Well, right. In Japan, Kefka and Zack weren't next to each other.
Oh, you're right. They are back to back. I didn't even realize that. No wonder I'm so short on black crystals.
I guess when Square goes black, it never goes back. Speaking of black crystal character, very important to mention. There's the Kefka event that dropped last week, and we've seen a lot of things related to that. One of the point I wanted to mention is there was the live Square Enix event last Friday where our good pal, well, actually not a pal, barely a connection, Joshua went all out to try and get the 35 CP for Kefka. You guys care to say how many gems did he invested in this again?
Oh, yeah, poor Square Enix Joshua went through at least 200 tickets and 100,000 gems. But he got it.
So sad.
But he got it like 5 minutes before the end of the show, right?
Well, yeah, just like 30 seconds before they switched the stream.
Basically. I don't know whether to be... watching it depressed me. I had it running in the background at work. I was just
I was watching.
He started so optimistically, and it's rage pulling. I think everyone enjoyed because all players rage pull, and he rage pulled right there on the stream where he said he was only going to do so many, and then he just pulled until he ran out of everything.
Let's see. We've got No Escape on Twitch just saying, I don't get why all people say black if it's purple. Actually, if you look, it is purple-ish colored, the crystals, but it does say black crystals. So we're
black crystals. Yes.
We're trying to stay as
called black crystals.
Yep. So.
What's the other one that people argue over the color?
Orange, I think.
Yellow.
Yellow.
Yeah. Orange yellow, yes, there you go. Orange yellow.
It says yellow, but I've always said orange. So.
Yeah, it is. It is. They are yellow crystals: red, blue, green, yellow, black, white.
So these
are the colors.
Yep. Let's see. So Kefka event. What do we need to tell our listeners about that event? First off, what about Kefka? How good is he? Did you guys like using him? What's a 411 on Kefka as a character?
Did you get a chance to try him, Mark? I got lucky with this 35 CP on. Oh yeah, we talked about it. We both got it within a draw or two.
Oh, I did not get his 35 CP.
Oh, okay. Nope. So what do you think of Kefka with just the 15? That's a good perspective.
I used him to clear the EX event.
Right.
All of the
Yeah, you cleared the EX event with only the free gear that came for Kefka.
Gear. Yep, I did not max limit break it. I just used his 15 CP with Terra and Sephiroth. And I did that to get the HP requirement because I started, this is and we'll talk about it, this is a rough battle. And the roughest part of the battle is not taking the HP damage. And so, of course, Kefka's big thing is he has this silence ability, which prevents HP attacks, which is really cool against bosses that are going to do these crazy HP attacks, especially if you can telegraph the HP attacks like this boss does. He says he's, smiles or grimaces, and then he's going to do an HP attack. So you can silence him, and then he just doesn't do anything. Basically, it's paralyzed for one turn.
Isn't it 2 turns?
2 turns is when it, but I mean the ability to nerf the HP usually is only going to be good for 1 turn in this fight. But anyway, yes, it is a 2 turn.
Okay.
The nice thing is you do get, that's on his 15, that's on his first ability and his 15 CP weapon. So you do get that weapon for free. So that was nice. I mean, you know, so you could use that ability really easily with just the 15 CP weapon.
Yeah. There was some discussion on Reddit I wanted to add in is it functions like Paralyze, where so if the enemy was queued up to do an HP attack and you silence it, it just skips
Basically.
it. So for example, I think it's like you know, the Berserker armors, right? It's 2 brave attacks and then an HP attack. If you skip the HP attack, they just go back to the 2 brave attacks. So it's very powerful if you can telegraph it. Even if you can't, I think just throwing it out there and knowing you're not going to get HP attack for 2 turns feels pretty good.
Yeah, so you could potentially nerf the Berserker armors if you keep count.
Yeah, you just eliminate their turn, basically. They don't even throw out a brave attack. I think they just lose their turn.
Yeah, it's weird that they don't use anything else. As you said, it's more like a paralyze than anything else. So
yeah.
Anyway, so what about the 70 battle where you fight the what's his face again? It's not a lich. I don't know why you guys had this stuck in my mind. It's a skull wizard.
Skull wizard.
The strategy here is to. Sorry, go ahead.
He is a skeleton, so Tifa gets her buffs against skeletons, right? She's really good against skeletons.
Yeah, I believe so. I didn't use Tifa, but I'm sure that's why she was included in this.
I did do some co-ops with Max Limit Broke Tifas, and yeah, she was throwing up some impressive numbers. I will not lie. I do not have Tifa and any of her stuff, but yeah. So yeah, this thing does just crazy damage out of the blue with its HP attack. It also buffs itself like crazy. So the first time I went in, I brought in Terra Cloud and Vanille to try to remove the buffs, dispel the buffs. Vanille does not have enough staying power to deal with all of its buffs. Like the thing buffs itself too much to be dispelled.
Right, and I think they did that on purpose because of Kefka's other gimmick, which is he can throw 5 debuffs on at a time and push all buffs off.
Well, so, not at a time. It takes 2 turns to.
Right, but he can do it by himself.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, which is real. I think we forgot to go over his 35 CP.
Yeah, what does it do? Because I forgot to mention, I found, I did, after Mark said that he had cleared the EX only with Kefka, Tina, and Terra and Sephiroth, I went in, tried the same thing, did it, but I found Kefka incredibly underpowered. I mean, sure, he can silence the boss, but he fights like and barely does any bravery. So hopefully maybe the 35 CP switches things around a little bit, makes him
a little bit. So we already covered his 15. It's the HP silence and blind, which both of them combined is because even if they don't HP attack, they're gonna miss. Most likely. Somebody looked up the numbers. It's blind is 90% miss chance. It sure as hell does not feel like that because I feel like I get hit a damn lot when I'm blind.
Yeah, right.
But that's a good thing to notice. Blind and HP silence. So no matter what they do, the chances of them hitting you are very slim. So that's all the 15 CP does. The 35 CP basically it literally turns him into Magic Tidus. He gets the exact same debuffs at the exact same potencies for, I think, 1 turn less each. I think it's 30% attack down, 30% defense down, 30% speed down. And that's the big one because that's why Tidus was so valuable for a long time, right? Because of his speed down. And so I think he effectively replaces Tidus. Hell, it's even supposed to hit harder than Tidus' slash attack.
But Tidus gets an Brave plus HP attack with slash combo. I don't think he gets something.
Oh, Kefka gets it too. So
does he?
Exact same ability.
Yeah.
Exact same debuffs. exact same potency, except he hits a little. So it's literally slash attack, but magic instead of.
Kefka starts with an HP attack, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
both
then,
his abilities are HP attacks.
so I was thinking like, oh, it's just like Tidus, and then I realized, wow, I guess Tidus can't be used these days anymore, right? Because his damage is so low, and that's the same problem with Kefka. Kefka may be a harder hitting Tidus, but he still hits at about Tidus level, and that kind of sucks. But the debuffs are cool, so there's that. Oh, that's what he does. That's what he tries to compensate for, Pierre. So if you have the 15 CP or the 35 CP, after he uses the buffed ability, his brave attack turns into meteor. Did you notice that?
Meteor. Yep.
Yeah, and that's where he gets all his damage from. Like his abilities don't hurt much, but his meteor hits pretty damn hard.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think if you bounce between like debuff meteor, his damage is he's Tidus 2.0. That's what I'm gonna call it, basically.
Well, how about Tidus 1.2? Because I don't think he's really that much better than Tidus.
That's fair, but he is a better Tidus.
And No Escape on Twitch seems to be backing me on that claim, saying that max level broke Tidus hurts more than a max level broke Kefka will do.
I have a question for No Escape. Are you comparing that to a max limit broken Kefka? Because I think from what I hear is that Meteor hits harder than Quick Hit, and Kefka's Light of Judgment hits harder than Slash Attack. So I want to say theoretically he still does more damage overall, but you can get back to me when chat catches up.
All right, let's move on the thing a little bit. Let's talk about Kefka 80, the co-op fight. What did you guys think? I mean, the 80, the EX fight.
Yeah.
Anything particular in that fight, except the fact that the it can be cleared with, an easy version of Kefka?
Well, the first time I cleared it, because Kefka wasn't leveled up, I used Terra, Sephiroth, and Vincent. And I was able to get I got about 39,000 with that run, and I got all of the missions except for the HP. And I probably could have gotten under that if I had played it again with that, but I just waited into Kefka to get that one, so that wasn't an issue. But yeah, you just got to be careful and make sure you're either debuffing the boss or HP silencing the boss. You really can't get a... I guess I have seen some people try to basically just go all in. There may be a couple strategies out there.
Because he gets crazy brave like in an instant.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of different strategies for this EX. A lot of different takes on it. But I do think with Kefka's, with the free gear that you get, he if you have two other characters who are going to do some damage, I think you're going to be able to beat this pretty easily.
I guess Warrior of Light wouldn't be a good option here because the boss generates his bravery out of thin air, right?
People have been using.
I'll try.
There's a lot of strategy. Oh, but I don't remember if I told you, Pierre. I think we all told. So the boss has a very set pattern.
Yes.
It goes. What is it? It goes brave attack, and that can either be single target or AOE, and then. No, it does what's the buffing physical attack? I keep thinking that's Candle in the Wind, but that's the HP attack, right?
The HP attack is Candle in the Wind.
Well, he does what you know what I'm talking about. He starts the fight out with this physical stab.
Yeah.
Yeah, hits really hard and gives him his buffs. Hits about like 2k, 2.5k. Then he does either a regular brave attack or an AoE brave attack depending on his HP. And then he does Candle in the Wind, which is he gains his attack in brave and then does an HP attack, so like Terra. And so if you read the pattern, all you have to do is prepare for the Candle in the Wind and you should be fine. And people are preparing for it in a lot of ways. Some people use Vincent or any attack debuffer because if you nerf his attack, the brave he gains is really small, or they try to break him right before Candle in the Wind so he can't get enough brave to do anything, or the HP silence or blind or paralyze.
Yeah.
All right. That works.
And-
Yeah, I think, he's definitely really powerful, but it does seem like there's a lot more strategies available to beat him.
Yeah, and then if you said maybe if Vanille only debuffs right before Candle in the Wind, that could work.
Well, and
Maybe.
my Vanille is not max limit broke either, so she hits like a Vanille.
Yeah. But Pierre, I think we missed you today. For the audience out there, I think Pierre wanted Marker Eye to watch him play and try to walk him through it piece by piece. I think it's very doable.
Not this, right?
Huh?
Not
What?
this.
No,
I
it
thought
was for the Power Chasm pitch, which is now gone.
Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, sorry we missed that.
Nah, it's
But,
fine.
So I just wanted to point out on Discord, and we have TSD Loner here in our Twitch channel right now. So apparently I was helping people with the Kefka strategy on Discord, several different people, and apparently it worked. So a lot of people were complaining that this EX was just like the old ones, which I want to get to after this. But I think this one is more skill gated than just numbers, because a lot of people who thought this was really hard at first, after they practiced and figured out the pattern and thought about their team, they were able to clear it and get the high score no problem, which I believe, Pierre, did you get the high score yet, Pierre? We could definitely help you with that, I think.
On Kefka?
Yeah. It wasn't that high. It was like 36,000, right?
Yeah. You just have to do it under 100 turns.
Yeah, on Kefka I got a score of 31, so I'm not. I still have some points to beat, but I've only tried it like once or twice, so I need to go back to it.
Okay, so so you barely tried it. So from your experience, how do you feel this EX stacks up against last month?
It's much more playable for the average player, I would say.
Yeah, would you say it's a fair fight? I
would
would say it's a pretty fair fight.
I would say it's at the right level in terms of the what's expected.
Yes.
Well, especially when you can bring a free character in with the gear that you're given, and that character can be useful.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, like Mark said earlier.
That's super important.
Yeah, what a blessing that his most valuable skill is tied to his 15 CP. Because usually it's the 35. So Kefka comes out of the box pretty usable.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah. And I like his gimmick. I like his gimmick of HP. I'm sure it'll come in handy in the future. As we said last time, anyone with a unique gimmick usually has some use down the line.
Yeah, that gimmick's on his free gear, so just keep him around and don't sell that gear, and you'll be fine.
Okay, so let's talk about what I wanted to address is, so everyone's saying that this is a very clearable fight. Even people who don't have many strong characters are able to at least get the clear, and a lot are able to get the score. It's apparently the most difficult thing is the HP requirement this time around, the super strict HP requirement. And so I wanted to ask you guys if you thought this was better or worse. And I've been asking tons of community members, and I think the general consensus is that they would rather have EX fights tuned like this, because before, when they couldn't even clear EX fights, they missed all the rewards. This time they're only missing 100 gems from the HP requirement. Or maybe I think it's like 100 gems and 3 tickets or something for a full complete as well. But many people think this is a very fair fight in that regard. What I think is that getting the clear and score is super flexible this time around, but the HP requirement is still just as strict as, say, the... You don't think so?
No, I mean, with Kefka, I got the HP requirement.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Maybe
I took no damage.
That's fair. You know what?
With Kefka.
I collected these opinions early on.
Right,
I think you're right. Yeah,
well, because without Kefka, I took 6,000 damage easy. And that was with Vincent and his attack buffs. Now, I probably could have timed it better, but still, it was difficult, right? But with Kefka, the first run I did with Kefka, I took 0 HP damage, so...
Yeah, okay, so I take it back. I think the community overall is pretty happy. I don't think everyone, most people are still struggling with the HP requirement, even though it's very doable. But I think overall it's much more accessible, and I like that the challenge is actually in the strategy this time, and not in do I have enough damage to clear it.
Like you said, it's open for everyone to beat with, if you don't have the exactly the right characters. I mean, you can use a wide array of characters to beat it, and I do appreciate that the score is more attainable. And like you said, maybe one objective will be a little bit harder. I really hope they will tailor the future fights as per this one.
Yes, let's meet up next week and discuss the Zack EX and see if it falls in line. Right?
You think it's going to be different, better, worse?
I haven't looked at all. Yeah, I'm hoping it's the same. I'm hoping it's the same.
I have no idea. We'll find out.
All right. Before we get into the discussion part, do you guys want to do any draws on this?
Can you guys display it? I can't hook up my phone, so we're gonna rely on you.
Well, I could do one. I kind of went for the.
Do one? Like if you don't,
Yeah, I'll do one. I went for the Layle costume, so I'm full of gems.
I did one right before this stream, so I'll just tell them it was a.
Oh, Mark is. Oh yeah, you had the off banner. 15 CP. Alright, so Mark is still going on with 3 stars at 6, 7, 8, 9.
Ooh, this is not lucky. This is not lucky.
Oh,
ouch.
Whoa,
ouch.
1 4-star and a Zack 15
Zack
CP.
15.
Zack 15 CP?
So I gotta say, Mark, that's probably the worst pull I've seen you do ever.
Same. This guy's always flooding Twitter with these amazing. I got an off banner.
Well, I did get a 4 5-star weapon draw on my free account. So.
Yeah, what's the deal? I mean, I'm just finishing a crystal fight, so we're gonna kill sometime real quick. What's the deal with that account you've been starting lately?
I just started another account on another phone. Just kind of getting a sense of what it would be like to start the game.
I thought you were going to do like you did for FFRK, the FFRK Basics YouTube series. I thought that was the point.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Yeah, not really. I don't think it's just the game takes. Sitting to play the game. I just don't have that kind of time to stream and Twitch. That kind of stuff, but I think there are some things I can garner from doing that and teaching that. So we'll see kind of where it goes. But no, I'm not going to do a video series from it. So.
That's a shame. All right, my poll.
All right,
let's do this. So multi-draw, yes. Alright, let's see. So, boom. Okay, 1 3-star, 2, 3. Oh! 4-star. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stop, that's enough. 6, shit. Ah, crap. It's gonna be all 4-star. Alright, and
4 stars.
1 Zack 35 CP.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Congrats. It's always okay to only get the one weapon as long as they're completely worth it.
Right.
So here's the result. I got 3 3-stars, I got 6 4-stars, and I got 1 Zack 35 CP.
Well, you can't complain about your luck anymore because you definitely got by far the best pull out of all of us here.
Oh, there we go. So, and there's Tancred dropping in 4 days, so maybe that's going to be another good banners. A good banner.
Soon?
Yep, 4 days.
Unless they throw any curveballs, it should be half off.
Yep.
Interesting. All right, Mark, 2 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, you posted an article on Reddit saying, asking people their opinions regarding the awakening.
I posted an article on Reddit with the title "Post-Awakening High: Are you feeling good or still left behind?" So basically, the question I asked was, "How are you feeling post-awakening?" This was about a week after awakenings. So we got over 230 replies to this article. So I'm not going to read them all, but I will read a couple and kind of ask you guys what you think about it. So Nikolai82 on Reddit. Struggling with Heretic score challenges without Cloud, Terra, or Furion. He has Cloud, 15 CP, Shantoto, and Mary. So my question for you, thank you, Nikolai82. If high shards are supposed to make bad characters good, why are they available as bonuses for difficult content? Do you get what I'm asking?
Yep.
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
Again, I feel like I'm coming from a privileged area. Yeah. So I'll go first, and then Pierre, you can.
It's funny because I never thought about it that way, but you bring such a good point. But go ahead, Mino.
I was gonna say, I feel like they give you a large percent of it for free, right? Like if we're just looking at the co-ops and just clearing the heretics, like the easy modes, and just getting a regular clear on the hard modes, I think you get about 70-75% of all the crystals. Am I right? Like ballpark around?
Yeah, well, to give you a sense, without the Halloween co-op, my free account does have Cloud and Terra and Warrior Fight because I just started. My free account was able to get those 3 characters up to crystal strength level 55.
Wow.
So. But also, you probably got their 35s, right?
Yes, I have each of their 35s, yes.
Right. Like, initially, when I first heard you reading that post, I was going to be like, so you want the rewards without any of the characters? And I realized, but, people can get unlucky.
Yeah.
They really can.
Oh, no, yeah,
not
no doubt.
get any of the weapons. Yeah. So, I mean,
well,
I keep forgetting that.
Yeah. So some other things. Super Princess Peach. How you doing?
Super Princess Peach.
So Super Princess Peach started 6 weeks ago and has struggled with content. Spent 50 gems on magic banners that must be wrong. That must be a bigger number. Spent maybe 50,000 gems on magic banner for 7 Shantoto 15 CPs and 6 Shantoto 35 CPs. So she spent 50,000 gems and all she got was Shantoto weapons.
Well, I would say that's not a bad thing, but I might be based towards Shantoto, so I'm just gonna.
Yeah, but compared to Terra.
Oh well, yeah. If you went for Terra and you got Shantotos, that might be a slap in the face.
So feeling let down because I still don't have any characters who can manage hard content. So my first question: how long should you have to play before Lost Chapters or EX battles are viable? She's been playing 6 weeks. Second question. We, the 3 of us, have awakened characters ready to go. What if you didn't? Do awakenings really fix the difficulty gap?
That's a good question. Oh, man. Pierre, how did you feel? Oh, did we get Pierre's answer on the last question? I think I might have missed it. How do you feel about some of the high shards being gated?
Yeah, I thought he answered.
No, I was skipped entirely, and it might be the fact that I totally forgot about it. I saw something shiny and I moved on. I think, okay, let's see. The only shards that I didn't get were the shards for getting the high score at Power Chasm pitch. I want to be angry at the fact that I did not get them, but I have a feeling, see if I look at it right now, Terra's 57, Shantoto's 57, Wall is 56, and then Cloud is 55. I could bring him to 56, but I don't care about 210 extra defense. And then Mary's 52 and Furion's 51 because I don't care about them. I have a feeling I got plenty, for my money's worth. Um, the extra ones were gated a little bit, but once they added the co-op event, which were incredibly easy to beat, I think we all got, and when I say we, I mean the casual players. I think we all got a decent amount of crystals to get at least 55 or 54 and still make those characters stronger. At the end of the day, just getting these extra 10 levels make a huge difference. I mean, sure, when you get crystal level 55, you get that extra ability change at level 60, which nobody has yet. You get even more, but just those 10 levels still make a difference by itself. So I would say that yes, they were high tier rewards for these high shards for the tough stuff, but they were definitely attainable for the casual player. So I'm not mad at the way they put it, because each kind of player had reward tiers that were accessible, and especially with the co-op, it made the whole thing pretty good in my opinion.
Yeah. So for Princess Peach's question about how long should you have to play, before you can beat this content. So I started this new account about 10 days ago, and I drew on Cloud. So I've played through Chapter 7. And you can't go to Chapter 8 until you do the Lost Chapters and get Squall, Vanille, and Setzer. So I did all of Chapter 7, 1 through 6, regular hard. I got freed up to level 11. And I pulled on Cloud and pulled on Cloud's banner till I got Cloud's 35 CP. Pulled on Terra's banner till I got Terra's 35 CP. Ended up with a full set of 15 gear for Cloud, Terra, Wool, and one of each of their 35 CP weapons. So I went into Power Pitch and Magic Pitch with those three characters, level 60, Crystal Strength 55, or excuse me, Crystal Strength 53, with a level 20 35 CP weapon, and was able to clear both of those with 100 gem continue. So, and that got me then the crystals, 30 crystals, for beating both those, for having Cloud in the party and Warrior of Light and Terra, and then getting a clear gets you 35 CP. So
there's
that was after 10 days.
Yeah, but there's one thing though. You can say, "Oh, I've been playing for 6 weeks," but are you playing 5 hours a day, or are you just clearing the 10 crystal quests you have each day? That's the thing that's a little hard to judge. Instead of saying, in days or in weeks, it would be a better reference, and I know it's impossible. It's not like World of Warcraft where you can do like a slash played, but it would be better to talk in terms of hours played in the game to have a better idea.
Content cleared, because I've run into a lot of people complaining about difficulty who have not finished the chapters.
Yeah, these are the same bastards that join your co-op wanted boosted characters only with a level 41 Terra and a summon level 6 and a rank of 92. So
but yeah, so I mean, if you start, and that's one of the reasons I'm not doing a basic like video series, because it's really simple. If you start the game, you need to play chapter 1 through 7, right? And then do chapter 1 through 7 on hard, and then start doing the lost chapters, and then finish the rest of the chapters and go back and forth, until you've done all of the content and amassed enough gems that you can start pulling on some decent banners, if there are decent banners ready. Obviously, when I started, there were decent banners, but if you haven't cleared the rest of the content, the regular content, you haven't generated enough gems to really be able to pull on things. But I do feel for Super Princess Peach here, who spent 50,000 gems and basically just ended up with one character's set of gear. Even regardless of what the characters are, just the bad luck of ending up with one character's gear on a 3-character banner is just really, lets you down. So,
But again, with 6 weeks, if you cleared enough content, you should have. Do we know how many draws she did on this?
that would be 10.
Oh yeah, no, that's rough. With 10 draw, you have bad karma.
Yeah, no, it was that's rough. That's rough. But that's that's how that's how probability works, not statistics.
Yeah.
Statistically, you should be able to get one of each item with 80,000 gems. But statistics don't mean anything when it comes to random generation and probability. So,
well, at the end of the day, a character that's not good today might be better later on. I mean, we saw that at the E3 Square Enix Q&A, where they said, even if a characters feel underpowered right now, they said you can rest assured that they will be buffering them to ensure that all characters are viable at some point. So don't despair because your current lineup is not as good as you wish it was. You're always one pull away from being a lot better. I remember once I got Sephiroth's 35 CP, I went from not being able to clear a lot of things to clearing 2 or 3 lost chapters instantly. So do not despair.
Speaking of that E3 Q&A, Shinyo on Reddit shared that with me again because I had forgotten that the developers said that we are always going to take those old characters and up them. So Shinyo says, loving Awakenings, but fearful that power creep will come back. So my question for you, do you think power creep's just always going to be a reality in this game?
It is, because the character you make stronger today pushes another character down the list. I mean, you'll never... How many characters do we have right now? 73? You're never going to have 73 viable characters. It's never going to happen.
And in Japan, they just released level 70 Awakenings, so so then there's going to be characters like Shantoto, right? Shantoto's really good for a while when she becomes level 70 again. So there's characters that are going to get. So you're always going to be this juggling game, I think.
Business-wise, when you think about it, it kind of makes sense because if you could get one character that would be so awesome, you would no longer have any reason to pull on anything.
Right. Exactly.
At the at the end of the day, it's not a charity. They're in this to make money, and if nobody's pulling and buying gems for any other reason than the costumes, and it's not going to happen. So.
Well, I got a few more of these, and I know Mino's got to go in a few minutes. So let me try to get through them here and see what you guys think. Retro Gamer Dad on Reddit says, "I'm about ready to quit." And so
don't.
He has, don't. Unless you already have, sorry. But,
as long as you keep listening to us, we'll.
Just to summarize, he says doesn't have anything for Wave 1 of Awakenings. The meta's changing too fast. Land content always a DPS race. No rewards for long-term players. Just not fun anymore. So what do you guys say to Retro Gamer Dad?
Oh,
I think I disagree with pretty much every point he just mentioned.
Really? Okay. Let's hear it.
All right, go, Mark. Go point by point again.
Doesn't have anything for Wave 1 of Awakenings, which means he didn't we had characters ready. He didn't have any characters ready. He does have some characters ready for upcoming waves, but he didn't have any of the characters for this wave ready.
Okay, but here's the thing: these are part of the first characters that got in the game. In the first chapters, there were parts of about easily 5 draw since the game started. I don't know how old of a player he is, but it seems like he's something close to a day 1 player.
Yeah, I think so.
It would appear very improbable, even with a shit karma like I have, that he would have nothing for none of these 6 characters.
Yeah.
Well, what was the next point?
Meta changing too fast.
Okay. Every event makes 3 characters better for that event. It doesn't really change all the lost chapters. It doesn't really change all the normal chapters.
That's a good point.
Saz was a killing beast for months.
5 months. I know, Saz, come on, he was meta for 5 months.
But compared to that, the meta is changing fast. Especially
it'll
we
get
didn't
faster.
have that. We had 3-4 weeks where the character of the week was the character of the week. And maybe that's the case now. So the third one is bland content, always a DPS race. I think we saw that change with Kefka, right?
Yes.
So,
Yep.
So that's good news for
And-
Retro Gamer Dad.
And the way the Awakenings are going, or at least how they went in Japan, is they're giving you a wave of characters now. It's no longer the 3 of the week; it's the 8 of the month, basically. And those 8 are guaranteed to be relevant for at least a month. Some more, like Terra's going to be for a few months, Vaughn's going to be for a few months, Squall. So, I mean, if you think a month-long meta is too short, then these games just really aren't for you. Honestly,
What about his comment? If the game's not fun, the game's not fun. And
right. Agreed. Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about that. That's each person is going to either find the game fun or not fun.
Yes.
No rewards for long-term players. What do you think about that?
What are you expecting? Like a trophy, a star next to your name? I always have a problem with that. At the end of the day, the players who are really good or the players that put in a lot of hours, just like any other game, are going to clear all the content available. Again,
arguably, if you are a day one player, you have more gems than.
Yeah,
you just started
I want to say Awakening fixes this, because if you play longer, you have more high shards.
Right.
So you can awaken more characters. Sure. That's the trade-off.
I wouldn't make the counterpoint that I played, like, I showed you my iOS, what did they call it? That new stupid feature? iOS, wait 1 second. It's called screen time. I posted something 2 weeks ago that said, like, my screen time was off the roof because I was playing a whole lot and trying to beat that heretic fight. I put in the hours and I had nothing to show for it because I never got these higher scores. So it's not always a correlation of hours versus rewards.
No,
but
with the first run of the events got gems that you don't get with So we've been playing every event. We got gems. Yep. So we as a day one player, you have more gems than a new player will have access.
Yeah.
But again, he seemed, the way which you said it was worded, he seemed to be either day one or a long time player.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody started playing this like a month ago and would write a rage quit post or.
Not at all. Well, Retro Gamer Dad, I hope you're still playing, and hope the Kefka event and the Zack event are better for you. So a couple other folks. Momo don't know. Day one, that's the name of the person on Reddit. Hey Momo. Day one player feeling left behind. Don't have anything ready for Awakenings, Wave 1 or Wave 2. That's 12 characters you don't have anything for. That's interesting.
I don't get that.
Player. Saving. This was the person who was saving for Selfie and Ram. And they had like 200,000 gems. They had a lot of gems.
Okay.
Maybe more than that. But they're still ways off. Feels like the game doesn't have enough strategy, and it's about who's the meta character and who can buff the meta character. So my question isn't, because we just addressed that. My question for you guys is, how do you balance saving gems versus playing the actual game? Because I felt like Momo was saving everything for Selfie and Realm. But if that's spending any of your gems and not getting anything.
Well, it's kind of saying, I don't have a car. Well, are you buying a car? No, I'm saving for a house, but I'm still pissed off I don't have a car. Well, you could buy a car. You have the money. I know I have the money, but I don't want to buy a car. I want to buy a house, so I'm saving it. But then why are you mad you don't have a car? Because I don't. Okay. Saying, well, I've been saving for that one character that's in Wave like fucking never, and I'm mad because I can't use Awaken. This is like, it doesn't make any sense either way you flop it around. So I'm sorry, I don't buy that. I mean, especially with someone that had so many gems, they could have said, hey, wave 1 is there, I want to be part of that, why don't we just invest a bit. Well, and in those characters, I mean, they definitely had the money for it, and they made the decision not to, but at that point you can't have your gems and the rewards too. It doesn't add up. That sounds like a whole lot of QQ for nothing right there.
Yeah, well, I just, I understand saving. The problem with a game like this is, I mean,
it's not how it works.
You could save 500,000 gems and pull for selfie and not get selfies 35 CP. I mean, that's
you poor bastard.
It's so saving all of your gems for one character, saving a good chunk of gems for one character makes sense, but saving all your gems for one character, knowing that character's longevity is going to be up in the air, may not be the best strategy for a game like this. So last question, Alpha Craze. Feeling worse after Awakenings because I was unable to pull Terra. Has been playing since the Titus event, but only has a few max limit bro characters. Feels like the rich getting richer and the poor are left behind.
I want to jump in really quick and say that a lot of these concerns are going to be answered when the weapon token shop comes in, which is soon. In Japan, it was spring. I'm almost positive we are getting it early because we've gotten every single thing early. Everyone's saying, I pull, but I can't get the weapon. Well, once weapon token shop comes in, you can literally save for the weapon.
What's the mechanic for that?
So it's just like Power Stones. They reward some weekly. They reward some for some stream giveaways. They reward some for for co-ops and questing, right? And I think they're speeding up, but when they were first introduced, I believe a month of saving gets you any 15 CP you want in the game, and it's anything in the game. So if an event drops that day, their weapons get added to the shop immediately.
So it's more like not Power Stones, but the armor tokens.
Yes. It's basically armor tokens for weapons. It's called weapon tokens. Literally armor tokens for weapon. And a month. When it launched, I think like I said, I think they're speeding up. When it launched, it was a month for 15 CP of your choice, anything, and closer to 2.5 months for a 35 CP. But what that means is you can literally save for a weapon. Because Mark was saying you can save 100,000 gems and not get what you want. And this is, you can save for a set amount of time and know you're guaranteed what you want. Not EX weapons, but 15s and 35s. And this dropped in the middle of the Awakening era, so when you see that someone's strong, you can just spend your tokens, grab their weapon, that's it.
I don't think we're going to be seeing this until they drop the EX weapons, because that would take away their gem market if they did it that way.
Yeah, and they did that, like I think they put that in when Selfie dropped.
Right.
In Japan.
Well, and people need to remember that EX weapons are going to have a lower pull rate. It's going to be harder to get an EX weapon, and there's going to be more weapons on the banner, which will make it already more difficult. But the percent chance of getting a EX weapon, the probability of getting an EX weapon is already lower than a 35 CP.
Right. And I want to say that I think it's insanely generous for a gacha game. I don't think I've ever seen a gacha game that's let you literally, if you play long enough, you can get what you want. Guaranteed.
Well,
there's your reward for veterans, Retro Gamer Dad.
Yeah. But yeah, we've been told that, at least in Japan for quite some time, that EX weapons were not a must. They were just, obviously made things easier, but not a must-have. So, still relying on the 35 and the 15 and the Awakening. So that's good.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think over time, DFFOO has been making the right decisions.
I agree.
And a lot of these concerns will be addressed.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping Square Enix Joshua wouldn't get it, and then we would we would have all been awarded a 35 CP.
Mark?
Something would happen. Yep.
Sorry, I think my connection went to hell for a couple of seconds. So he said that we would all be awarded, and then
yeah. I thought if he didn't get the 35 CP, then maybe he would have like coerced it.
Yeah, right.
Like
wishful thinking. But a lot of people were saying it was bad PR. Because it took him so many gems to get it, like it was almost discouraging.
Well, you know they don't get a free pass, that's for sure.
Yeah. So they're in it with the rest of us, but it is a sobering reality that you can drop 100K just to get the one weapon you want. He got everything else on the banner. Yeah, he cleared out the banner. He got everything.
Got the full array of the
MLB, the other two characters, MLB, Bartz, and Tifa.
Yeah.
All right, we gotta cut this a little early because Mino has things to do, and it's already a little late here.
Yeah,
again, keep in mind the Zack event dropped about an hour and a half ago. Tancred is dropping on the 18th. It's in 4 days at the time of this recording. So that is pretty much it. Hopefully we answered everything you had and more. If you have any questions or comments, please do not hesitate to leave them on YouTube if that's where you're watching the show, or send them to kupo@tccpodcast.com. Hopefully we can answer them on our next show. We apologize for the weird schedule we've had for the last couple of weeks. We should be good to go until Christmas comes around and messes everybody's schedule again, but hopefully for the next couple of weeks things will be more stable. So we will definitely see you next week on the Crystal Chronicles. Again, that was episode 30, the Big 30, recorded on November 14, 2018. Have fun, and we will see you next week. Thank you guys for your time. And thank you people on Twitch for being there. Have a good one.